If you don't want it to happen, it's worth fixing the profits, and the question is whether it's high time for Bitcoin. He says he owns the best of the existing assets and sees no reason for this price drop. This is an argument for all those who feel that Bitcoin is at its new all-time high. Welcome to the Coin Post. The head of MicroStrategy, Michael Saylor, is not gonna sell Bitcoin in April or in May and has no intention to say goodbye to his investment in cryptocurrency. In the meantime, we're getting more and more comments like, "It's time to sell, you fools. In a few days, your Bitcoin will drop to $10,000. And I have a personal favor to ask you. All those who are predicting a drop in Bitcoin price by 20, 30, 50% or more in the near future, please give your arguments. It's really important, and if you see any objective grounds, let's figure it out together. So, today we're talking whether to keep Bitcoin or it's a huge mistake and it's worth selling before the bubble bursts. But I mean, when something is going on in the cryptocurrency market, you're gonna know it first on our channel. So subscribe and let's dive in. In fact, fixing profits is the right thing to do. There's even a term, paper profit. That's when there's an increase in the value of an investment, but that doesn't involve a real increase in cash. The market could make a U-turn any moment, and the profit would result in losses. If you don't want it to happen, it's worth fixing the profits, and the question is whether it's high time for Bitcoin. Michael Saylor, the head of MicroStrategy, was asked what his exit strategy was, whether he was gonna take part of the profits now, or he was planning to sell at the end of the year. I mean, Bitcoin is an asset with high volatility, and it's not immune to a price drop of even 80%. But before I go to his answer, I'll show you this chart, which shows the largest owners of Bitcoin among public companies. MicroStrategy is number one, with a balance of over 91,000 Bitcoins, which makes $5 billion. Number two is Elon Musk's Tesla. They have twice less Bitcoin. I will also remind you that MicroStrategy had 2 rounds of attracting investment, issuing debt obligations for the first cryptocurrency. So if anyone should have an exit strategy, it should be them, because sooner or later you have to pay back. So what did Michael Saylor say about selling Bitcoins? To his mind, anyone who thinks Bitcoin is gonna drop in April is behaving like a crypto trader. They profit from the price movements, and so they take the profits off the table from time to time. But Michael Saylor is not a trader, and his bet on Bitcoin is long-term. He says he owns the best of the existing assets and sees no reason for this price drop. The offer to sell some Bitcoins he perceives as if he was in Argentina, Venezuela, or Zimbabwe, the countries where the national currency is cheaper than the actual paper it was printed on. And all of a sudden, he gets asked to sell some of the dollars because Argentinian peso surged a little. What he means is that anything but Bitcoin for Michael is just paper. He's holding the best asset that's gonna grow forever, and he doesn't see any point of selling anything. That's what he said. Michael Saylor's hodl is stronger than ever. And do you support him? Share in the comments. Next, we're talking about the price of Bitcoin and whether the situation on the market is that scary that you have to start selling right now. Why is everyone so excited about the Bitcoin collapse? Well, of course, there are simple reasons like, I didn't buy it while it was cheap and now I'm scared to give away $55,000. Or I could be mad at the world, calling Bitcoin a bubble and waiting for it to burst. I mean, I hope I don't have to remind you that you can always buy part of Bitcoin, like you can start investing in cryptocurrency with even $10. And it's not financial advice. It's just how the cryptocurrency market works. If you take Tesla, then one share today is worth $618, and you need exactly that amount to buy it. But with cryptocurrencies, it's pretty simple. You buy a piece of it for any convenient amount that you have. And now let's go to more objective reasons. Since the last crypto winter, Bitcoin has surged by more than 1,800%. And if we start from the March collapse last year, we get an increase of about 1,500%. This is an argument for all those who feel that Bitcoin is at its new all-time high and expects a long-term downturn as it was in 2018. Of course, no one knows whether it's going to become true, and the only available analytic tool is to compare previous Bitcoin growth cycles with the current market patterns. So in 2017, if we count from the bottom of that cycle, Bitcoin rose 13,000%. And if we compare the difference between the highs of the previous cycles, then from 2014 to 2017, the increase was more than 500%, whereas the difference between the 2017 peak and the current price high is only 200%. This means that the potential of the current growth cycle may be vastly greater, and predictions about Bitcoin hitting $200,000 or even $400,000 are not fairy tales, they are justified. It's also a good reason to subscribe to our YouTube channel because Bitcoin has a long way to go and we're gonna have a lot of fun together. Be sure to click the bell to get new videos first. What's important is that if we're talking about a potential Bitcoin collapse in April, there has to be a reason. In 2018, as we eventually learned, the market got shorted through the CME futures. Of course, if a similar game is plotted against Bitcoin again, no one will be warned. But let's think together. Is there a threat to the cryptocurrency market that should lead to a long-term decline? If you know something, write in the comments. So far, I can only think of one thing. It's a trend in banning cryptocurrencies that should start in India. I recently made a video about why I don't think Bitcoin is going to be banned in the US. Check it out. But with India, first of all, it was banned, then they changed their mind. Secondly, how important is this market in general and how powerful it can be? I want to remind you that Bitcoin is banned in China, which is the most important region for cryptocurrency. But despite the ban, the Chinese are good at selling cryptocurrencies, and the state even protects the ownership of Bitcoin. So I'm not ruling out that the Indian authorities could smash through the wall and come up with some kind of nonsense, but I don't see any global trend threatening cryptocurrencies. And other financial markets too, they're behaving more than confident, which gives us hope that last year's March collapse ain't gonna happen again. To sum up, I'd like to say that I only share my vision with you. Nonetheless, I don't see any reason why Bitcoin should drop that much in the near future. That doesn't mean it won't, but for now, I'm not worried about my investment in the crypto. I'm looking forward to your comments on the market, and please share this video with your friends, especially if they are worried about the Bitcoin collapse in April. And that's all I have. Thanks for watching. It's the Coin Post channel. Subscribe and get enlightened.